9-2, surface area of pyramids. Again, you can see here, we open it up. Again, we're going to have to use nets, so you are going to have to draw it in. With the video, not as many visuals as I would have in class, but what I do want you to do is circle up this word regular. This word regular is defined as a regular polygon, which is not very helpful here. So today we're dealing with just regular pyramids in math class, which is awesome. It's going to help us out because a regular pyramid, the base or the bottom, if you want to make that note, the bottom is a regular polygon. But what I do need you to do is I need you to see this word regular, and I need you to make a big note. This means all the sides and angles are the same. So make that big note that everything is the same. So much so that when we see this word regular, I would pause and have you all say regular. So in class, that's what we would do. So regular, everybody say regular. I don't know if you did it, but I hope you did. The word regular is going to be used often in math class, where they're just going to say regular, and then you and I need to remember this fact right here. You and I need to remember that that word regular means all the sides and all the angles are the same. For us, what's going to be important is today, all the sides are the same. And then in word problems, and you'll see it in the picture too, we got this what's called lateral height. So again, lateral height is the height of the lateral triangle, or make the note to yourself, the triangles on the side. We need that because we need to be able to find the area of that triangle for surface area. So once again, we're going to have to use nets. To use nets, you can see we have regular pyramids. This one here is not very good. The word regular means even if it's drawn wrong, this bottom, all the sides are the same. I would dare say that looks very rectangular, but because of this word regular, everybody say regular. Did you say it? I don't know, but I hope you did. The word regular means all these sides are the same. So whether they put little dash marks on them, whether they say that this side is 3 and this side is 3 centimeters, whatever they do, the word regular means they're all the same. Now you can notice here, again, since I can't be in person with you while you're watching this video, I can't show you how we physically draw or drop these sides down off of that pyramid. But you can see we've got the bottom, the base, and then each one of these side faces are triangles. So then you're just going to draw triangles like this. Not the only way to draw a net, but the way that we're going to draw it. Again, I would recommend starting down here. Draw this. It's a squarish rectangle, but today it's supposed to be a square. Why? Because here's this word regular. Everybody underline the word regular, and in your notes, put down the word same. That means they told me this side. Right here, this side is 3. So if you want to make the note to yourself, this side over here is also 3. So find the area of the rectangle. Take 3 times 3, and you get 9. Now, I'm going to just start with this triangle here on the left side because it's got the information we need on it. There should be a right angle mark right there. I'm going to fold that guy down here. Doesn't matter how you want to draw it. I'm drawing a little bit larger, so it makes it a little easier for me. But now notice this 6 right here, this is what we call our lateral height. This 6 for this side triangle, that's our lateral height. So that's this 6 here. And then for a triangle, we need to know not only the height, that lateral height, which is being touched on this side, we need this down here. We need the base of the triangle, and that happens to be 3 as well. Since it's a triangle, this one time in your notes, you must do it. Please put down A equals BH divided by 2. Remember again, a triangle you must cut in half. So we're going to take the B, the base, times the height. Doesn't matter which one you call it. 3 times 6, or 6 times 3 gets us the same answer. Divided by 2. You must cut it in half because it is a triangle. It's not a full box, a full square or rectangle. It's half of one. So 6 times 3, it equals in the calculator, divided by 2. So that's where this triangle is 9. This word up here, regular, is super important. Again, I would like you to say regular because that means this triangle on the back, or for us drawing it on the top, it's exactly the same. So you could draw on in that it has a height of 6 and a base of 3, and you can do the work. 6 times 3 divided by 2, or That's 9. Because it's regular. That means they're all the same. So the triangle on the left is the same as the triangle on the right. So you put down 9 and put down 9 again. Here in your notes, just this one time, I'd like you to again put that down. The 9 for the first triangle on the bottom, plus the 9, the triangle on the side, plus the 9 for the triangle on the top, plus the 9, and then don't forget that base. They're not always all the same number, but boy howdy, that makes math easy for me with mental math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I don't get that backwards. 9 times 5, my arch nemesis, just checked it with my fingers. That gives me 45 meters squared. You must have a net. You must have shapes drawn. You can't just have this 9 times 9. You can't just make this magically appear. On your NDSA test, IXL, all those are fine. But in math class, it says you must be able to use the scale. You must be able to use a net to find it. So here we go. This one might be helpful. We have a calculator. Again, draw the base out. It's regular, so everything's the same. That means this side is 5, and the other side is 5 as well. And you can grab a calculator or mental math. 5 times 5. Again, I'm going to circle it on up because there gets to be lots of numbers. If you want to write it down as you go right ahead. And since all the information is over here, it doesn't matter which triangle you go because it's regular. Everybody say regular. Because it's regular, all of these triangles are exactly the same, even though I didn't draw them very identical. So you only have to do the math once. Notice again, here's this right angle. Here's your lateral height. The height of the side triangle is 7. And then you've got the base down here. Although there's no number, it's the same all the way around. So then you've got a 5 down here as well. Oh, I already have a 5 written there. Now you don't need to show the A equals BH divided by 2. I'd like you to here in your notes. You don't have to. It's still a good habit. The trouble is you're going to take 7 times 5 and then divide it by 2. But Mr. Walls, there's a decimal. That's fine. 17 and a half. Because it's a regular pyramid, all of the sides are the same, which means all of these triangles are going to be exactly the same because all the bases are all 5. All of the lateral heights are all 7. So once you find one triangle, you can then either write down 17.5 plus 17.5 4 times, or because there are 4 of them, you could take 17.5 times 4. It doesn't matter. You just have to be careful with the decimals, with the math. But when you take care of all of that, when you add them all up, that's where we get 95 feet squared. The answer cannot just show up. You must be able to use a net to find it. Again, that's here in our standard, jumping one scale ahead, but wanting to show the emphasis. Now in math, we must use nets. Periodically, this is going to happen. Now this one's going to be a little annoying with the net, but since it's drawn in front of us, here we go. You can number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an octagonal. It's an octagon base. So do the best to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, not a good octagon, but it'll work. But then I need you to do something. Bubble cloud this guy up. I might do this. And you and I are going to learn what this big B stands for later, but make the note to yourself. This is the area of the base. They told us this octagon is 20 millimeters squared, which is great because you and I don't want to figure out what the area of an octagon is. Not fun. Now, the bad news, it's an octagon. So that means there's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles. They don't have to be perfectly drawn. This one's pretty off, so I'm going to fix that one a little bit. But what we do need to do the work for one of them. Notice this right here, that's supposed to be a cursive L. If you want to make the note to yourself, that's referring to the lateral height. So that's saying that this triangle has a height of 4. And now this 2 right here is important. It's telling us this side is 2. There's no instructions here, but the ones from previous follow through as well. It's regular. Because it's regular, everybody say regular. If you didn't say regular, I'd make us say it in class because it's so important. Because that 2 is there, that means all these sides are 2. Every one of these triangles are exactly the same. So you're going to take the base and the height and divide it by 2. Again, that base, technically being the 2 there on the bottom, times the height, the lateral height, that cursive L, which is this 4. And then you're going to divide that by 2. Mental math calculator approved. Sorry, I'm trying to write that on in there. That means 2 times 4, hit equals, then divide it by 2. That gets me 4. Every one of these triangles is 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. They're all 4s. Do you want to put down 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4? You can do that. You want to put it down 8 times? That works perfectly fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do that, but I like to make life easier. There's 8 4s. So let's take 8 times 4, the triangles, plus the area of the base. By all means, if this is confusing, then just write it out like we've been doing. Add up every surface. There's nothing wrong with that. 8 times 4 is 32 plus 20 gives me 52 millimeters squared. Again, we can do the math, but we need the net there. It has to be solved using a net. Let's find the surface area of the regular pyramid. This word regular is super important. We got 2 of these, so here we go. The word regular, underline it. It means the word same. So write that in your notes. Because now the net process of this is not going to be very fun, so follow with me. We're going to draw it, and it's just going to be as best we can. On the bottom, notice the shape is a triangle. It's a regular triangle, meaning this side is 5, this back side is 5, and this front side is 5. So when you look at that, I'm just going to draw yourself what's called an equilateral triangle, a triangle where all the sides and angles are the same. And then I'm going to put a 5 right down here. But now we've got this blue line. Now we want the blue line on the bottom. That's this guy. So I'm going to follow that back here. That's our height of the bottom triangle. So that's 4.3. So notice then, you and I need to find the area of this triangle, the area of our triangle on the base. So that's BH divided by 2. That's 4.3 times 5 divided by 2. That may not come out nice, but that's okay. We're going to just do it. Multiply it by 5, hit equals, and then divide by 2. So that comes out to be 10 and 75 hundredths, 10.75. You can put that in the triangle if you want or not. The choice is yours. And then every one of these triangles on the outside are exactly the same. So you can draw a triangle here, a triangle here, a triangle here. I'm just going to do the work once. I'm going to do it over here on this guy. Notice again, I've got the lateral height, the side triangle. The lateral height is 7. So the area of this triangle then, we need to do that. A equals BH divided by 2. The height of this triangle is 7. But here's the hard part, this green line. That green line is the same as this green line down here. This is 5. So now we're going to take 7 times 5 and divide that by 2. 35 divided by 2 gives you 17 and a half. Every red triangle is 17 and a half. Triangular prisms, a little trickier. Pyramids, a little trickier, not as nice as rectangular prisms. So again, this is enough work. If you want to put down 17 and a half plus 17 and a half plus 17 and a half, those three side triangles you can, and then plus 10 and 75/100ths. That works out great. Type it on into a calculator. Again, if we were in class, this is where I make sure that you all could be getting this number. It's also where I'd be checking to make sure I've been doing my math right. Always kind of disconcerting to make sure that this video is made with correct math and no mistakes. This was interesting enough, a triangular prism. Let's do it one more time. Oh my goodness, there's numbers, there's arrows everywhere. Again, let's start on the bottom. It's a regular pyramid, which means all the sides are the same. So I'm going to draw again an equilateral triangle, but draw it a little bit bigger. Down here on the bottom, you're going to see, again, when we're looking at it, all the sides are the same down here. So when we've got that, we've got all the sides the same. So this side down here is 6. That means every side is 6. And then you can see that we've got this lateral height and we've got the other height. We're working on this bottom one first. So that's where I'm going to pull in, another decimal, 5 2/10. So find the area of this triangle. A equals BH divided by 2. I want you to write that here in your notes now, because then that way you've got it. You can make the number appear, but it's good to have this. It's still good to show this work where you can take that base of 6 times that height on the bottom of 5.2 and then divide that by 3. So then that way we can see 15.6. That is the area of this bottom triangle. Again, if you wanted to write that in the triangle, you could. You don't have to. If you want to write that off to the side right away, you could. You don't have to. And then we've got 3 side triangles on the side. So from there then, draw them on out fast. And from there, got to do the math at least once. I'm going to do it over here. So again, we know that the height on this guy is 10. So that's where that 10 feet, that lateral height is coming from. But then you and I need to know the length of this base down here. It's the same as this base over here. Again, you can see we've got the base here in blue. So that's going to be 6. Here in your notes, please write down A equals BH divided by 2 for this side, for the lateral pyramid, where again, the base is that bottom. It doesn't matter which one you call it, but one is 6. The height is 10, dividing that by 2. So 60 is a great number, but don't forget to divide it by 2. So every one of these triangles is 30. So you can put down 30 plus 30 plus 30. You could tell me it's 90, whatever you'd like. And then we've got this guy, adding them on up. We're still talking surface area, so that's why everything is feet, or whatever its label is. It's labeled units squared. Feet squared, inches squared, miles squared, whatever it might be. Last one, super fast here. A roof is shaped like a square pyramid. Bundles cover 25 square feet. How many bundles of shingles do you need to buy to cover your roof? In class, I would talk more about how this is a wonderful real-life problem. When we talk about covering your roof, and I have a visual, you're only shingling these triangles. So then to do it by drawing a net, we don't put shingles here. So when I draw out this square in the middle, I'm going to put a big X in it. There's no shingles going there. So I'm not going to do any work for that. I need to put shingles on these triangles, on the lateral height of my house. This is my house's roof laid flat on the ground, smushed flat. So when we look at this triangle on the side, here we got a nice height of 13. And then I need to know what the length of the bottom of this is. Remember, it's regular. Everybody say regular. It's called regular because everything's the same length on the bottom. So for this triangle, A equals BH divided by 2. You got to cut it in half because it's a triangle. So you take one of the numbers, 1 is 13. 1's 18. 1's the base. 1's the height. From there, then, divide that by 2. 13 times 18, calculator approved, it equals divided by 2. That means each one of these is 117. 117 is great work, not the final answer. There are 4 of those. So again, 117, 117, 117. So that's where you can then tell me that the answer is 468 feet squared, which if you box that on up is great work. That's where IXL is going to say, oh, looks like you need more practice. That's where I would put a star -1 on a quiz or on a worksheet because you're right. But we didn't answer the questions. The question didn't say find the surface area. It says how many bundles do we need if each bundle covers 25 square feet? I need to cover my entire roof, 468 square feet. This is something to do in real life. You can do this in business. And if each bundle covers 25 square feet, how many bundles do I need? Well, you're going to have to divide that on out. So divide that out in your calculator, and you get a wonderful answer of 18.72. But if I went to Menards or Home Depot, can I buy 18.72 bundles, 18.72 bags of shingles? No, I cannot. I need to buy a full 19 bundles in order to cover my roof. That's taking surface area and using it in real life problems. So again, you can see solving real problems or math problems. We just did a real world problem, but we have to in our scale. It says solve using nets. So if it has just an answer, that does not work on our assessment. So that's what we're doing today. Finding the surface area of regular pyramids and solving real world